I have lost how many times I've refilmed this video. It also doesn't help that my computer wanted to crap out right after filming the earlier tries. At least with the extra time, I was able to dig in a little more into what's currently known with WYN Beauty. Let's get my face together, shall we? First and foremost, my skin type is combo oily, but it's changing. I'm in my 30s and I'm slowly noticing my skin going into the drier side. I'm lucky that I don't have any major fine lines, like for example around the eyes or around the smile lines. So creasing is not really a concern of mine. Right now, I prefer foundations with medium coverage for everyday use. And by everyday use, I mean for only a few hours. I don't have the need for long wearing foundations anymore. I've started to dislike that cakey feeling, right? It's been a good minute since Jasper and I have played tennis. It's been a few summers. But that was the big buy-in with me with WYN Beauty. I think the tennis sportsy aesthetic is cute as hell. I mean, look at it. One day I was at Ulta and I decided to shade match. Once it went on sale, I can just go ahead and get it. One thing for sure is that this oxidizes. That's no surprise since there's sunscreen in the skin tint. Once settled, I had no idea that I'm an olive undertone. And this one right here is shade 135 in more. Yeah, that's not gonna pick up. Now that I found my perfect shade, it's discontinued. Of course. I actually ended up buying two other backups because I originally got it for like 14 something, and after like the 75% off ended up being like $7. The undertones I generally go for are either neutral to like warm golden, but sometimes they end up being a little too pink or a little too yellow on me, and this one is just, it's my skin color. I'm gonna do a color comparison with three other foundations that have been like right around where I kind of am. This one is It Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation. Last time I was at Ulta, it looked like the shade range has been updated. And also, I don't think I'm a light medium anymore. I also want to say I think they discontinued this one, didn't they? Because I don't even remember where I got it anymore. The other foundation that I want to compare is by VDL. And this is the Perfect Lasting Foundation. This specific one has also been discontinued, but I have the new version, which specifically says that it has sunscreen. I thought this one did too, but it doesn't say on the bottle. I can make this new one that I open work since it's the winter, and this one is in shade number 21 in the Misha Pro Cushion. You can find most of Misha cushions online in big online retailers like Yes Style, but you cannot get the Pro Series ones, which is really annoying. You have to go all the way to Japan, and it's actually my fault that I got number 21 instead of 23, because that's the screenshot and that's I ended up sending to my friend, even though in text I was like, get number 23, but at least it's a winter so I can kind of make it work. But you will see that this one's kind of light. So let's kind of put these side by side. So this first one is going to be WYN Beauty in shade 135 and more. I know it looks light, but it will adjust. So I started with this first one, which is WYN Beauty, going with the second one, which is It Cosmetics in light medium. You can definitely see the difference between the two. I will zoom in here in a second. This next one is V03 in the VDL foundation. You can tell with this one has more yellow. I was going to do more of the WYN Beauty. See, like it's already adjusting, you can see as I added more. Now it looks a lot lighter. Right, and I'm gonna go in with a little dab, a tiny little dab of the Misha for color comparison. Yeah, number 23 is definitely, but it's light. It's also pinkier that I like. The number 23 is a little bit more yellow. So let's zoom in. Now that they're settled, I still prefer this one in here, how it matches me, because of the oliveness, it makes it more neutral. This one, I definitely feel like it's more pink on me. Same with this one. This one's a bit more yellow, which I can still make work. And this one, even you can tell it's light. But it still leans a little bit pink. But yeah, I just like how this one looks. That's just me. I'm just gonna blend those in. One thing that I really do like about the bottle, so it comes with a little pop, right? The little pump here, it twists. You can lock it, and I feel like if you like travel with this, it'll be really travel friendly because then it won't spill over the goddamn place. You can definitely build this one up, and I like using a brush with this one. You can definitely use a sponge, but they'll shear it out, right? Because they'll thin it out. Using a brush with this one so I can get just a little bit more coverage. It's thin enough to spread evenly with a brush. I also like that it spreads out and blends evenly. So, what the hell is going on with WYN Beauty? There's a ton of speculation going around. The main piece is that their biggest partner, the Good Glam Group, ended up closing earlier this year. They weren't able to turn their investment into a profit, and their lenders possessed their assets from the Good Glam Group. Instead of completely closing up the other brands that were in the Glam, trying to say that a lot of times, the Good Glam Group umbrella, they sold the brands to the individual owners, according to an article by Afrotech. And all the articles and information and even videos regarding this, I'll put them down in the description box for your continued reading, if you want to read any further. From that, it sounds like they were really banking on the US beauty market while still juggling some of the other brands that they had, and they grew too big too quick from what I'm understanding of this. On top of that, what I found odd on the WYN operations side is that they're called the SW Sunby Beauty USA. Clearly the SW stands for Serena Williams. I don't understand why it's not just SW Beauty on its own. Unless Serena started the brand first, then sold majority stake before WYN Beauty got absorbed into the Good Glam Group. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure. I'm not as good as Jen Love to kind of find all that information, but that's what I can kind of reason behind it. From an article by the Beauty Independent, the 2 points that stood out to me were Serena's lack of beauty authority in the beauty space and her recent campaign with the GLP-1 medication by Ro. I will get to the medication because that stirred controversy on its own, but I want to first start with the lack of authority. And by lack of authority, I don't mean like she has to be a beauty influencer or be known as like, makeup guru along the times, those type of descriptors. Now, I believe, I can't remember the name of the content creator, but I also put his video will be down there. He also made a good point that Serena Williams is not known for having good makeup. But because of that, I felt like that would have been like a kind of good lead in into the brand, right? Because as an athlete, I mean, I can't speak much, but as an athlete, you still like want to look cute, you want to look pretty, for those that choose to. And but you know, eventually your makeup's gonna look gross and everything. So what do? What do? And Serena and WYN Beauty could have been the answer to that, and I think that's kind of like what they were wanting to lead into. But with that, on top of releasing a brand when other celebrities are flooding the market is also terrible timing. Also, let's not forget the chaos of tariffs disrupting supply chains worldwide. Jen Love summed it up best. She launched the brand but did not actively engage and market the brand, which led to falling flat among consumers. I don't know. I just remember the brand came out and that was it. They had great displays in store, but that still wasn't enough when they didn't have any influencer buzz on a staple hero product, right? To me, it's like, how did she not have current top athletes co-sign her brand by sending them PR? One name that comes to mind is Naomi Osaka. It would have been perfect, right? I even checked Naomi's Instagram to make sure, you know, if she received it or even like talked about it. Nothing. Or even Sha'Carri Richardson or Angel Reese are great choices to initiate some brand influence behind the brand. Maybe that was the next steps after the launch, but I guess they couldn't raise the capital to offset the PR packages. Because you know, when you still send stuff to like PR, it still costs you because you still have to like not only do you have to like write off what you're sending, but also the stuff that you're sending, the postage also costs money, and you also have to bank on that in hopes that they will actually said influencer will actually like promote it on their socials. So who knows? Maybe that was the next step. Maybe they were just kind of holding money tight until things were like, you know, paying off, but clearly that didn't happen. I have so many questions. From my reading, there were strong projections for the brand. The Beauty Independent reported that WYN Beauty was supposed to make somewhere between 25 to 35% of the Good Glam Group's sales for 2025. Ouch. They were actually valued at, get this, back in 2021, they were valued at 1.2 billion. And he had a, so within 4 years you went from like being a $1 billion company to dissolving. That sucks. And of course, along with that, WYN Beauty got tied to it. But it just feels like there were a lot of other factors with WYN Beauty on its current state. My understanding is that WYN Beauty was supposed to initiate the global expansion as they've been really successful in India, but talking about a gamble. And it just seems like the timing just wasn't right, or it was a little too late, right? I want to focus on the controversial ties with the pharmaceutical company behind Roe on its own. The drug itself has been a strong topic since its development was to target obesity and not as a fat weight loss solution that it eventually is becoming. I want to isolate this because it makes me ask a couple of questions. Was becoming ambassador for the weight loss drug company a response to the Good Glam Group closing? Because the new collaboration between Roe and Williams was announced in August of last year, which was right after the Good Glam Group dissolving, and around late July and August, according to my sources. Apparently, Williams has been focusing on investing, and maybe she's able to offset the loss. Also, isn't she married to like a Reddit billionaire or something like that? Maybe. If the brand got sold to individual owners, could that possibly mean that Williams now owns WYN Beauty? I still have not been able to find any new information on the direction for the brand, other than it's still available in Ulta Beauty, heavily discounted. All right, I'm back. Got my eyes and my lips done too. What was at it? I ended up chatting with an Ulta employee regarding the brand while I was trying to shade match myself. And even though I haven't been able to confirm their statement, they said that Williams plans to continue with the brand and relaunch it at some point. I still have not been able to find any more information on that. Overall, my thoughts on the skin tint is I like it. I like it a lot. The fact that it matches me shade-wise so well, it just literally tops it. It's not meant to be super long wearing, and that's one thing I found a little odd. At least with the concept of the brand, it was necessarily not focusing on like high performance, like makeup, like it's gonna stick to your face no matter how much you sweat. It's more going towards like if an athlete were to use some makeup, they would use this, right? It's not too heavy or whatnot. I guess that makes sense. And I think that's what kind of conflicted some consumers into like where's the direction of the brand going. I just like how it feels and how this wears. I wore this in muggy weather and on stage. For the 5 or so hours of me running around for the Sister Act, I think it held well while sweating. I don't think I have any. No, I don't have any. I should have taken like some like after like pictures with like me being all gross, but I didn't. Sorry. I personally don't like to work out in makeup, but this is light enough for me to use without feeling like I'm wearing like a sweaty mask. It does, however, cling to dry spots. My upper lip was getting bumpy and irritated from the Spirit gum, which I was using for a fake mustache. Spirit gum is practically like liquid bandage or like super glue for the skin. This does have hydrating properties that makes it look breathable in the skin, but it's not emollient enough for dry skin types, if that makes sense. You know how like the It Cosmetics one is like really, really thick and it's usually, it performs really well for dry skin? Yeah, this, not so much. I think its thin texture best suits normal to oily skin. Because of the shade and texture, I can easily overlook that this product does separate. The bottle itself says to shake well. I'm not sure if it'll focus. It's probably not, but it says it there. No surprise due to the fact that this contains mineral sunscreen. This product contains titanium dioxide, and that's a common white pigment in cosmetics. It is what it is. There is just enough mineral sunscreen to provide an SPF 30, which leads me to my next concern in regard to the formulation. I noticed the short expiry date on the packaging, and I have an opened one here. I think it should show up. It says December of this year, and from what I've seen, SPF marketed products seem to expire 2 or so years. This launched last year in 2024, and supposedly it's set to be expired already. I don't think it's the preservative agents that are weakening, but I think it's due to the stability of the SPF to be considered at a level 30, right? Because I feel like now it should be SPF probably less than 30 by now. I could be 100% wrong on this, but that's my reasoning. I don't remember where I read it, but I think the WYN Beauty was considering themselves a clean brand. So I'm really not sure. With all of that being said, right now is a good time to try the brand out. I saw good reviews on the mascara and the brow products. The mascara was definitely of interest because it was a tubing mascara, and I haven't used a tubing mascara yet. I don't think it's available anymore though. You might be able to get it in store. So what do you all think? Will this brand come back? Is it done for? Will there be more engagement on Serena on the second time around as she relaunches the brand? Who knows? And I really do hope that she comes back for it, though. I really do hope that she comes back with a better strategy, and I don't know, maybe she doesn't have to look for investors this time around. We'll see. There's so much going on, and I just feel like if they can kind of really solidify on where their mindset of the brand, right? Is it gonna hold up during intense like body movements, you know, sweat and other environments and whatnot, or is it meant to be like light enough so said sportsy person likes the brand? She better step up though and get the current athlete girlies to promote the brand. Let me know what you all think down below in the comments. And I'm going to try to pump out a little bit more videos. I know, where the hell have I been? But I'll explain that in another video. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.